For those less knowing of the character, Artemis is the goddess of hunters. She's the one that like was known to be able to shoot further than any other could. And if you follow the whole thing, like the lore of Artemis is kind of short. So we're going to try to go through the main base of it. First off, she's the girl of Zeus and Nito. She's also the twin of Apollo. And when she got given birth by her mom, she turned over and helped her mom to give birth to Apollo. Like, she was very, very mature for her age. So she turned over and she helped her mom deliver her twin brother for some reason, because it's fair, those are gods. This like caused her to have a wish of chastity because she saw the pain her mom was in when she helped her give birth. And lore wise, if we're following like what is written, what we could find on that, she never did practice to make baby. She did have a love interest somewhere in the story for one of the two version of the story, but we'll come back to that later. She's the goddess of wildlife. She hunts the most glorious prey because she has that ability. She has as her friend some nymph companion that are water nymph and wild nymph. She also, when she gets seen by a male hunter naked, she turns him into a deer so that he's getting like killed by his own aunts. She also has hunting dogs, but the main animal that she's recognized to be like her emblematic animal will often be the deer. She also used them for as the lead of her carriage. There's a guy that killed one of her deer, which was Agamemnon. Artemis decided that his whole army couldn't reach Troy as long as he did not make penitence for that, and he had to kill his daughter because, yeah, I guess she was very, very pissed. That a decent reason, like a daughter for a deer, fair enough. And there's another character in the story, in the lore of ancient Greece, that said she was Niobe. Niobe said that her children were more beautiful than the descendant of Nito, and Apollo being one of them, Artemis being the other. They went and they just killed all of their babies because that's what they can do when you're going through that. Jesus is coming next one, by the way. Like, we won't name that it's Jesus, but it's gonna be Jesus. So, that's pretty much it. She fell in love, depending on the story you have, okay? One of the story, she was in love with another mythical character, which was called Orion. And Apollo was a little bit jealous of that thing. So he tricked her into shooting a target that was very far and moving very quick. And she accidentally killed Orion because she didn't know what she was aiming at. She was just aiming at something going very fast because she's a very skilled huntress. And in the other story, Orion forced himself upon Artemis and basically like gets killed by her and Apollo for that. So when I read that, there's a few things we need to have on check while we do build the character. First one being that the character must be able to polymorph other people. That's one of her power. She must be able to be a very good bow hunter, being very efficient shooting arrows. And what else do we have that basically hit? Like, if we have to select some skills, we'll go for medicine and animal ending because she's very good in that. So we got that. And I'll be honest, at first when you go through this, you're like, that sounds, Artemis with her bow and everything, she sounds like the most basic version of what we could expect to get from not a hunter, a ranger. But I've quickly changed my mind, and I got remembered by a friend that there was one type of druid that could actually do it kind of very well. So we start with a wood elf as a base because I would like for her, since she was supposed to be an incredible marksman, to be able to get some extra advantage when she's triggering them. And you'll see where I'm going with that. Elven Heritage is kind of a prerequisite to get Elven Accuracy and be able to roll 3 dice when you have your advantage. So we'll go for this. I took Wood Elf. Wood Elf is just your basic thing, but the reason for it is that for the class we're going for in the end, the ability score increase of 1 in Wisdom was actually a godsend. So we went for this. I think she already get like her dex from the fact that she's she got her dex for the fact that she's a health on that, and she get the +1 in Wisdom because we took Wood 1. And it's important because we went Circle of the Star Druid. I don't know how to tell you that, but like starting level 7, someone show me a Circle of the Star Druid where we pick the right spell for it to happen. You already have pretty much a good depiction of what Artemis could be in a D&D campaign to some point. And the spell that we're selecting here are going to make it all make sense. So first off, for the proficiency, medicine and animal handling, we told you we had to take that. She's basically helping her own mother to give birth. I guess she came with like basic knowledge of how to do that. We took spellcasting. No, not spellcasting. Well, not this. The Druid Circle of the Star, because star maps here gives you those. You get the guidance cantrip. We will have to like change a cantrip later because of that. Guidance is always useful, and this is the thing that will basically become your arrows. You have the guiding bolt spell prepared. It counts as a druid spell for you, and it doesn't count against the number of spell you can have prepared. And over this, you also get like some free expenditure of those bolts on end. You bringing me my shrimp mid that? I would have rather have seen her in 15 minutes. I love you, dear. Give me a hug. Just for the editing. I'm giving her back to you. No, you don't play with it. Good night, my love. And yes, that was Callie. She's a shrimp. So with the Circle of the Star, you get also the thing that will become your arrows, your main arrows. So you're just shooting Guiding Bolt. Guiding Bolt will touch the enemy, do 4d6 damage, which is huge for a first level spell. It is an attack spell casting ability, so you have to roll your attack, which I think works with Elven Accuracy. And you add upon that from the moment one Guiding Bolt touch, you have advantage on your next spell casting attack or your next attack on him until the end of your next turn. So basically, as long as you decide to focus fire one target, you're always triggering your own advantage round after round after round as long as you touch. When you have 3 dice to roll, if the biggest one does not touch your target, you should, unless you're very bad lucky on your roll, you should not be fighting that target. So that's pretty much where we're going. And already at level 2, you can see that the build already pretty much gives you most of what you were looking for Artemis. I say that you have it all once you reach the level 7. But at level 2, you also get the fact that instead of morphing yourself into a beast, you can morph yourself into one of the star feature. One of them is the Archer. You gain 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier as damage. It's an attack that you do because you took the form of the Archer as a star thing. Like, you use your thing to morph yourself into a starry form of an Archer. And if you are done using your Guiding Bolt, you can then like fall back onto this. Want to keep your Guiding Bolt for a more important fight, you can just like fall back onto your starry form. You also get to with level 4 get your ability score improvement. You take Elven Accuracy, you up your wisdom score. You are shooting with your wisdom, you are damaging the enemy with your wisdom. Everything here goes there. And level 7, I say that like you have the concept because you get the last thing that she was not yet able to do, which is to polymorph other things. So level 7, you get the level 4th spell, which is polymorph, and you pretty much have all what you need to have Artemis. You can do whatever you want with the 13 other level. I would just, at this point, like you're 7 level into druid, I would just keep on like dropping into druid up to level 18, but that's my taste, because level 9 spells are pretty much a game breaker, and the spells we pick are all meant to be a little bit like flavored around what could make sense on an Artemis. Start with the lower level spell. We took guidance. Everyone got something good with that. Mending, we still had a cantrip I didn't know what to do with. Mold Earth, same thing. Resistance, those are your cantrip. You are technically trying to act more as an archer than a caster, even though it's your casting that do the things. So, yeah. Cure Wound, because that's the only healing spell we take. We are very, very boring for this. Animal Messenger, use an animal, do your own bidding. Moonbeam. She's also recognized as eventually the goddess of the moon because she took the place of Selene in some lore, or she's one of the facet of the moon, depending on like which book you take your information from. And her twin brother took the place of Helios to become the sun. So that fits. Conjure animal, because you can have deer now. Daylights felt like the thing that was the closest to like acting as the goddess of the moon. I know you're not the sun, but you're reflecting it. Polymorph, it's the point where you can like morph other people. Summon elemental, because I didn't know. Awaken, you can have an animal that will be super brilliant, so that's going to become your favorite deer, or your favorite wolf, or whatever. Wrath of Nature, conjure face, so that you can have your nymph. Sunbeam, because why not? Transport via plant. Plane shift. Took plane shift on that? Took plane shift on that for some reason. Regenerate animal shape, control weather, shape change. This one did not fit much, but level 8, nothing fit much with the archetype out of animal shapes. Shape change, and finally true resurrection. I think we have something that kind of makes sense. It's not hard to play. It's gonna be like as hard to play as a normal druid, but you're gonna try to like mimic the fact that you are an archer. So for the other, because we kept on going straight for druid. So for the other feat that we took Elven Accuracy at level 4. At level 8, we went for Spell Sniper, and we added Magic Stone to our stuff, because why not? Also, that gives you the ability to shoot your arrow twice as far. And we took Fey Touched Wisdom, because we could at that point. We wanted a little bit more wisdom. And what it gives you Misty Step. So like one first level spell of your choice Sleep can do that will just like give you some slack. And the last one was just like 2 wisdom up, so that we can reach that 20 wisdom. And that's it. Like the ability set that we have at the end is going to be 14 in dex plus 2 because you're an elf, 14 constitution, 10 intel so that you don't have a minus, 15 wisdom so that you end up with that 20, and your arrow are going to be way more able to target your enemy and way more devastating once they hit. And your charisma can be 10. She's not known to be that charismatic. Strength 8, because in D&D strength don't carry anything out of like physical damage and athleticism and grapple. So at this point, nothing that she's using. And that's pretty much it. We took the Acolyte background because it came with religion and insight, and also 2 language, so you have Abyssal and Celestial, just in case you have to talk with your brothers and sisters. So, well, I think that was our shorter build that we did, but that's clearly because I started thinking of the thing and I was like, it's gonna be harder than it looks. Ended up being very much simpler than I thought. The only big weakness that this character has is the armor. That, like, stay away. Just don't get close to anything. Find an armor. Run with the shield. Technically, oh, by the way, if there's a feat that could be useful if you want to play her a little differently, you could take Warcaster and carry a shield, and also like wield an armor of some sort, but like very natural oriented if that's possible, so that you do not nuke the +3 index that you have here to give you the little bit of AC you have. But the main weakness of the build at the moment would be the AC. That would be an easy fix if you went and dipped a little into Monk, so that you can get like your extra wisdom onto that as well.